Hi, I'm Gail and welcome back to lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com. Today we're going to make a low-carb cauliflower tortillas. We're going to make a wrap so that we can put some goodies inside and we can have some sandwiches. There's lots of wraps that you can buy when you're in the grocery store, but the carb count is so high on them. So I found this recipe, I've improvised it a little, changed it up a little bit, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. So let's get started. Now to get started to make our low-carb tortillas with cauliflower, I have a very large head of cauliflower. And what I've done is I've taken the leaves off. I have the larger part of the stem I've taken off. Now I use the core of the cauliflower. I find cauliflower very expensive. It just seems to be more expensive every time I go to buy it. And when I made my potato salad with the cauliflower potato salad, I used the core. I chop it all up, and it has the same flavor as the florets. So that's up to you as to whether or not you want to do that. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting them into pieces, and I'm going to put it in the food processor because I want to shred my cauliflower the same way as I did when I made my recipe for the rice using cauliflower. So I need my cauliflower to be cut the size so it'll fit through my spout here on my food processor. Now, if you look at your blades, one side says shred and the other side says slice. So we want the shredding because we want it to be sort of like the rice texture. So I'm just going to start, just to give you an idea. I pulse it. And I'm going to continue doing the whole cauliflower. I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, we've got it all shredded. It does make a little bit of a mess, but that's what dish rags are for and water, so let's just keep on going here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shredded cauliflower and I'm going to steam it. Now I happen to have a steamer. If you don't have a steamer, then you could use the microwave. I prefer not using the microwave, but if that's all you have, or if you have a colander with tiny, tiny holes in it and then put water in the bottom of the pot and stuff, you could do that also. So with my steamer, I happen to have a dish, and I'm going to just put my cauliflower in this dish, and it does make a mess. And I still highly recommend you using the stalk or the stem of the cauliflower because cauliflower is expensive. It has the same flavor as the florets, so I recommend it. And cauliflower, the expense, like I said, is ridiculous. So I'm going to do this in 2 batches because I'm getting quite a bit out of my cauliflower because it was a larger head of cauliflower. So let's just get it plugged in here. I have water in the steamer in the bottom, so I'm going to put it on for 15 minutes and we'll let that steam, and then I'll do the second batch and then we'll be ready to go. Now I have both batches of my cauliflower steamed, and I've already squeezed out some of the liquid from the first batch already. So what I'm going to do is I have my cloth here, and I'm just going to take a portion of the cauliflower. It is hot, so you have to be careful. This is a little tedious. You might not want to do this just because you have to do a little bit more work, but it's really nice to have fresh, low-carb. Oh, that's hot. I think I'm going to have to wait and let this cool off a little bit more. There, I let it cool down a little bit because it was quite warm when I first started doing this. So you're just taking small sections and wringing out the cauliflower. And this is how much water I've gotten so far out of the cauliflower by doing this. So I have a little bit left. and then we're going to get started on making our tortillas. So I've squeezed out as much of the water as I possibly can from the cauliflower, and this is actually how much water I ended up getting out of it. And there's still more in there, but it was a bit of work doing it, but it's really worth it in the long run. So the next thing I'm going to do is I've got 2 eggs, and we're going to put them in the mixture. I have half a teaspoon of salt. So it's stuck there. And I'm going to put pepper in to taste. So I'm just going to use my shaker and shake some in there. So we're going to whisk this up. Now we've got this all mixed together. I've got my cookie sheet, and I have a piece of parchment paper on my cookie sheet. So I'm going to put 2 tortillas on each sheet. So then I just take another piece of parchment paper, and I just kind of press it on top, smooth it out a bit, and it helps spread it out a little nicer also. It's almost like I made this too big for the pan to have 2 of them in here, but we'll make it work. There we go. So this is going to go into the oven at 375 for approximately 25 minutes. So here are my low-carb cauliflower tortillas. I ended up getting 4 out of them, and they're very sturdy, very, very sturdy. And I only used 3/4 of the cauliflower. I just thought maybe I would cut back a little bit, and I only used 3/4 of the cauliflower. So to get this recipe, go to lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com, and you can find all that information of how to make the recipe, and you'll find a lot of other recipes also. I just have a sausage and some peppers and relish in here. It's very good. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. It is a bit of work to do it, but it's healthy for you. You take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.